Hello everyone, you welcome to Nature and Lifestyle channel, and it's always a pleasant occasion to meet you guys on the channel. Thank you very much for coming to watch videos on the Nature and Lifestyle channel all the time. Today is an interview section, and it's about one of the most interesting topics about nursing in UK. We are going to discuss topic about nursing and finance, okay? Monetary issues about nursing, some taxation issues about nursing. That is our purpose of today's video. And with me to do this discussion is someone who is an expert in this field. He is currently a mental health nurse. Prior to this, he was an accountant, and he actually worked as an accountant for a couple of years before becoming a nurse in the UK. Now, the person is Shola. Shola, you're welcome to Nature and Lifestyle channel.
Hi, Mordecai. Thanks for having me on your channel.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on this channel. Now guys, before I go on, let me also add that Shola is not only working as a mental health nurse, he also ran a lot of social media platform, okay? He has a YouTube channel which is called Nursing Meet Finance, and that channel is also live on TikTok as well, so you can check him up. He has a lot of videos about nursing, about finance, about setting up a company, about taxation in nursing. He has an interview with a lot of people, so you can check him up on his YouTube channel. And so, Shola, how many years did you work as an accountant?
I think I did about 2 to 3 years working in finance.
Okay.
But at the same time, while I was doing that, I worked as a bank nurse in a mental health hospital. So every now and then I would go to a hospital and work on the bank. And yeah, and what I predominantly did was working with young children from the age of 14 to 18.
Okay, that's good. And you are currently working as a mental health nurse, right?
Yes, I'm currently working as a mental health nurse. I work with the CCGs, and I'm a CHC assessor.
There's a lot of confusion when it comes to these two topics. So can you just give us a simple explanation about what PAYE is?
Okay, so PAYE stands for pay as you earn. Okay. So pay as you earn means that predominantly before you get paid, you would have paid your national insurance, your tax, and also any other contributions that you might have applied to paying. For example, you might be contributing towards tax, you might be paying towards a salary sacrifice, maybe a bicycle to work scheme or a car to work scheme. So the pay as you earn means that before you get paid, your employer would have removed your tax, would have removed your national insurance. If you're a student and you're paying student loan, they would have deducted your student loan. If you got pension, they would have deducted that. And also if you have any benefit, they would have deducted that. So that's pay as you earn. Predominantly, a lot of people that are working for the NHS will be getting paid under pay as you earn. And then the second part is the umbrella company. So a few years ago, something called IR35 was introduced. And IR35 basically, some people might be working inside IR35 or outside IR35. What that means, if you're outside IR35, it means that there's been some calculations that's been done to indicate that you're outside, meaning that you have some autonomy over the way you work. Maybe you use your own laptop, maybe you work from home and you use your own home as the office. Then a lot of things are done to establish that you're outside. Predominantly, a lot of people who are inside IR35 will be using a middleman, which is the umbrella company.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. You have summarized the whole thing for us. Thank you very much. Now, with regards to PAYE, if I understood what you said correctly, that those of us who are working with the NHS and with private care home, we are paid through the PAYE system, right? Pay as you earn. Good. I do understand that. The problem comes in when we do agency, like agency shift, okay? Now, I know a lot of nurses in the UK do extra shift with a lot of agency companies. Now, how do these agencies pay nurses when they work for them?
Okay, so agencies can pay you as a PAYE, or they can advise
Yes.
you to go and register with an umbrella company. One
Okay.
of the reasons why the agencies are doing that is because if you work for the NHS,
Yes.
the NHS will deduct tax from you, they will deduct national insurance, and there's something called the employer's national insurance.
Okay.
Okay? If the agency does PAYE, they will have to pay employer's national insurance.
Okay.
However, if they direct you to go and work for an umbrella company, they won't have to do that
Oh.
because the employer company becomes, the middle person. So
Okay.
they won't have to pay the employer's national insurance. However, if you go and work for an umbrella company, you will be liable for paying the employee national insurance and the employer national insurance. In
Okay.
addition to that, you will also pay the umbrella company fee.
Okay. So it means agencies can use both systems. They can decide to use the pay as you earn or the umbrella company system. Okay. Yeah. Now let's now focus on the umbrella company system because that is where people get a lot of problem. Okay. Just quickly, if you can explain again what the umbrella company is. Okay.
So, umbrella company is a middle company who is responsible for receiving your pay from the agency. So, the agency
Yes.
will pay the umbrella company, and when you engage with the umbrella company, they will tell you what their fees are. Okay, they'll tell you that maybe it's £20 every week, or maybe £20 every month.
Okay.
So they would collect the money from the agency, and they're responsible for deducting the tax, the national insurance, both employee and employer, and also
Okay.
deducting their fees. Umbrella company also allows you to claim for expenses that are only and exclusively for business purposes, expenses that you incur along the way while you're doing your job. Okay, those expenses
Okay.
has to be job relatable. For example,
Okay.
I cannot say I buy a trainers and say I want to claim it because a trainers can be used for work and also can be used
Yes.
for jogging. So
Yeah.
these are things that maybe things that you really need to have for you to be able to do your job and cannot be used for something else. So the umbrella company literally they collect the money from the agency. They
Yes.
deduct all the fees that they're supposed to be deducting, and then they pay you the rest.
Okay.
They're also responsible for paying that deduction to Her Majesty Revenue and Custom (HMRC). But
Okay.
again, like I said before, there's been some issues, a lot of issues around that. And I think the most important thing with umbrella companies is actually asking the right questions before you join them. Just because
Okay.
your agency have actually referred them to you is not good enough. You have to do your own due diligence. And your due diligence is about making sure that the figures stack up. If they say that
Okay.
you can take home 90% of your pay, then you need to run away. You need to go very far away from them.
Okay. Thank you. So, quickly, just to make sure it continues here, what are the specific questions that you have to ask when joining umbrella company, or what are the things you have to look out for?
Okay. So for me personally, what I will do is I will go to Company House. Company
Yes.
House is a website where you can look at companies. So I'll go there on
Yes.
Company
Yes. Yes.
House and I will look at if they're registered with Company House, when they were
Okay.
registered with Company House, and how long they've been in business. Who are the directors of that company?
Okay.
And then what I will also do is look at the names of the directors and make sure that they are not linked with other businesses. Because
Okay.
what people do is that they set up an umbrella company, they liquidate that company, and then they open another one.
Oh.
Okay, so you have to look at the credibility of the directors.
So
Look
first
at
one is
how
credibility. Okay.
exactly, and then look at how long they've been trading for. Okay,
Okay.
And then what I would do again is I would say to the umbrella company, I'm likely to be earning £1,000 a week. What
Yes.
would be my take-home pay? Give me a breakdown of my take-home pay.
Okay.
And they will do a calculation for you. They will send it to you, and you need to review it. You need to
Okay.
review it because you know that income tax is 20%. You know that there's a deduction for national insurance. You know that
Yes.
there's a deduction for the umbrella company. If
Yes.
everything stacks up, you need to also find out about sick pay, holiday pay, what
Yeah.
expenses that you can claim. Okay.
Okay.
So once you get all of that and you see that everything stack up, then you might start look, and also you might be looking at what software do they use. You know, is it
Okay.
just a matter of you sending them an email, or is it their software? And ask yourself the question: are you ready for that? Is it something that you can familiarize yourself with? Those are some of the
Okay.
things that you need to look out for.
Okay, okay, thank you very much. And I did speak to a friend who joined an umbrella company, but he told me his regrets, his decisions, and currently he's moved back to pay as you earn. And what he's told me was he was there when HMRC sent him a bill of £5,000. Okay, they told him he's underpaid his taxes and he has to pay £5,000. But according to him, he thinks the umbrella company deducted all his taxes and insurance, but he doesn't know if they actually paid it to HMRC. What will we do to prevent such situations?
Okay, that's a really good one. That's a good scenario. And what you
Yeah.
need to do is that the moment, number one is that ask your umbrella company for your pay slip.
Okay.
Number two is that after the first month of your deductions, or after the
Yes.
second month or the third month, call HMRC and tell them that you're working with this umbrella company and you want to find out if they've made submissions.
Okay, that's very good.
Yeah, now we've got what they call the real-time information, which is basically that every month, the umbrella, every month or every week, depending on how often you're getting paid, the umbrella company would, or even your employer would go online and actually do a submission to HMRC.
Okay.
So give them some time, give them a month or two, call HMRC and say, you work with this company, they've given you a pay slip. Can they check if the national insurance or tax has been paid? So
Okay.
another thing that another reason why you might find yourself owing money is that the tax year runs from April to March.
Okay.
Okay, it runs from April to March, and when you go and register with an umbrella company, they will give you a form, and that form will either ask you for a P45, which is a
Yes.
leavers form. It's a form
Yes.
that you receive when you're leaving your previous employment,
Okay.
or you tell them that this is your second job. If you're
Okay.
not
Okay.
transparent in that form, that can cause some confusion,
Okay.
because we've got something that we call personal allowance, which is basically your tax-free allowance. And that tax-free allowance, if it's deducted from your first job, it cannot be
Yes.
deducted from your second job. So
Okay.
if they're deducting the tax-free allowance from both jobs, the full tax-free allowance from both jobs, then at the end, when everything is put together, you might find that you're owing some tax. A lot of the time when I speak to people about tax, about national insurance, if they withhold one little information, it could impact on the results.
Okay.
If they're not transparent about one little information, it can impact on the advice that I give them. So open honesty and transparency is very important.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And guys, look, we have to be very, very careful when it comes to these decisions that we take when joining umbrella companies. Okay, we have to be very careful. Now we are bringing our interview to an end, or I will say our discussion to an end. The last topic I want us to look into is: can skilled worker visa holders or tier 2 visa holders set up their own company?
Okay, that's a really good question, and that's one of the things that a lot of nurses coming from overseas think of doing, and they're quite concerned about. But one of the
Okay.
things that I need to say is that when you've got your tier 2 visa, it says that you don't have recourse to public fund. But we also have to understand what public fund means. Public fund means you're not entitled to housing benefit, you're not entitled to disability living allowance, and so on and so forth. Benefits that are available to those who have got indefinitely leave to remain or maybe British citizenship. However, for those who are on tier 2 visa, they can open a limited company. Again, what I will advise people to do is that they need to speak to the right people. They need to speak to an accountant who is able to open this limited company for them, who is able to use the right SIC code, which is related to their business. But there are 3 criteria that we need to look out for when we're opening our limited company. The first thing is that the limited company has to be in line with what you're currently doing. For example, you've come into the UK on a tier 2 visa as a nurse. Then if you're opening a limited company, it has to be with something to do with healthcare, because you're a nurse, you work within the healthcare industry. That's number one. You're also limited as to the hours that you can work as a director. So we're looking at 20 hours a week. So that's one of the things that you need to be aware of. And I think finally, you cannot use your company as a sponsor, because if you're a director, you've got 100% ownership, then you cannot use that company as a sponsor on your tier 2 visa. So those are the things that we need to be aware of.
Okay. Wow, that's very insightful. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, some people too, they have their indefinite leave to remain, they have their British citizenship in the UK, and sometimes instead of joining this bigger umbrella company, I hear people say, oh, I'm going to set up my own personal umbrella company and get my personal accountant. How is that process done?
Okay, so earlier on I spoke about inside IR35 and outside IR35.
Yes.
The HMRC have an online calculation, which you can do which the employer can do or you can do to establish if your contract or if your role falls inside or falls outside. When your role falls outside, there's a lot of degree of autonomy, or a lot of responsibility on you as a director of that company. Maybe you're using your own equipment to do the job. You're working from home. You've got your own office, and so on and so forth. What HMRC are trying to avoid is what we call disguised employment. You've got somebody who may be working for a big company who have been doing it for 10 years, but then they're saying that they're outside IR35 and they can use their own company. But if somebody's been working in the same place for 10 years, then there's a degree that maybe that's your employer. So those are the things that the HMRC look at. However, if it's been calculated and it's clear that your contract is outside IR35, then you can set up your own limited company. And then your limited company can invoice the people that you're working with, and they can pay your limited company. But one thing that you need to be aware of is that your limited company is a solely different entity from you. So the money that is supposed to go into your limited company cannot go into your personal account. Because the money belongs to the limited company. However, there are ways in which you can pay yourself as a director of a limited company, either using PAYE income or using dividends. Those are the ways that you can pay yourself as a director. Hopefully that answers your question.
Okay, thank you. And with regards to that, those of us with skilled worker visa, we have to be very careful here, because there are a lot of rules and regulations as to if we can actually open a company ourselves. What I do advise people is to read more. Try to speak to the experts in this field and get more knowledge. If you break the rules, it can affect you when going for your indefinite leave to remain. Again, I spoke to Shola today, and Shola has a very good YouTube channel. I would say one of the most peculiar YouTube channels on YouTube currently, that speaks about money and nursing, and it is called Nursing Meet Finance. where he's been talking into details these issues about taxation, about tax refund, about payee company, about umbrella company, issues about the money you can earn as a nurse, anything money about nursing. Shola discusses this on his YouTube channel. And he is currently a mental health nurse and was also working as an accountant before becoming a nurse. Shola, thank you very much for joining us today with this discussion. And guys, I'll leave the link to his YouTube channel in this video description so you can check him up and watch all his videos. Subscribe to his channel and let us all grow to become big on YouTube. Thank you very much, Shola. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for having me, Mordecai. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. See you another time.